Hello, hello, everyone. Aho, male, buenos dias, sabah al khair. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing this morning? Yes, it is early, but I will say y'all look good this morning. My name is Toot Kailech. I'm a community builder at NeighborWorks Lincoln. And thank you. And a graduate of Leadership Lincoln. If you are also a part of the best class ever, make some noise for yourselves. But we all know Fellows 38 is where it's at, right? So I will be your MC for this morning. I'm here to wake you guys up. I'm here to get you guys smiling because this is the 9th year Leadership Lincoln and the mayor's office have collaborated and worked together to introduce the next generation of community leaders and present the mayor's vision of Lincoln in the year ahead. So we appreciate you all making time today to be here. And I know some of you got up a little extra early to shower, put on some makeup, take the kids to school. So we are grateful for your appearance. So before we start the program, there are several folks that we would like to thank and recognize. We would like to thank all of our table sponsors for their support of this event. Don't clap yet, y'all. There's a long list that I have to read, okay? Thanks to Emeritus, HDR Inc., Southeast Community College, City of Lincoln, Lincoln Airport, Matt Kirkland from Giving Realty, Hoppy Development, Don't Panic Labs, Olson, Project Control, Blue Stem Health, and Leadership Lincoln again this year. Hold on. Additional support for Leadership Lincoln has also been provided by the Ackley Charitable Foundation, Emeritus, NEBCO, Olson, Union Bank and Trust, and the Woods Charitable Foundation. Now, please join me in thanking these sponsors for their commitment to the community. We would also like to thank our alumni and community partners. Without you, Leadership Lincoln wouldn't be possible. All of these folks are great supporters of Leadership Lincoln and support many causes and events throughout our community. We are grateful for their continued support of this event and all that they do. So there are several dignitaries in attendance today that we would like to recognize. Joining us today are many elected officials from the unicameral, City Council, Lancaster County Commissioners, LPS Board of Education, and other offices. Would these representatives please stand, and will you all join me in thanking them for their service to our community? I love your energy, Benny. In a few moments, we will hear from Mayor Lyrian Gaylor-Baird. Mayor Lyrian and her team, please stand, and will you all join me again in thanking her and her team for being with us today? Yes, that's it. Leadership Lincoln wouldn't be able to make the impact it does without the dedicated efforts of the staff and volunteers who support the agency's mission and values and initiatives. Would the Leadership Lincoln staff and board of directors, past and present, please stand and be recognized? Without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce my brother, Quentin Brown, Executive Director of Educare Lincoln and Vice President of the Leadership Lincoln Board of Directors. And Quentin is also a graduate of Leadership Lincoln. Let's make some noise for Quentin Brown.
Buenos dias and good morning. That's for you, Toot. Somebody was at the table before we started when Toot came and did the have a seat They said, "Dude, you have such a great voice." And I said, "Geez, I got to go up there and follow that guy? Can't do that." So for the next several minutes, you're going to hear from this voice. But again, my name is Quentin Brown, and in a formal capacity on a day-to-day basis, I serve as Executive Director of Educare Lincoln, providing high-quality early childhood education to children and support to their families over in the Belmont community. But this morning, what? All right, that's cool. Thank you. But today, again, as Toot mentioned, I have the opportunity to serve in the capacity of Vice Chair of the Board of Directors, and I'm actually standing in today for my colleague Dave Herring, who's the board chair, who sends his regrets, but also his welcome. And I know current and past board members kind of stood and waved, but if one more time, if I get current board members to wave at me and wave at the crowd so you can see who you are, because on behalf of myself and on behalf of Dave and those beautiful people that just waved at you, I want to give the formal welcome from Leadership Lincoln to the 2024 State of the City Address. So formally, welcome to the address, all right? So Leadership Lincoln was established in 1985 as a separate nonprofit organization, and since then we have graduated over 4,000 alumni. And those alumni are serving in various capacities throughout our great state, in businesses, small and large, city government, elected officials. They're serving on boards of nonprofit organizations, be it healthcare or any other nonprofit, i.e. Educare, or sidebar, I'm going to deviate for a moment, i.e. Lead Center. Are there any Lead Center representatives in the room? Yeah, there's one. All right. So here's the thing. So Leadership Lincoln started in 1985. And Lead Center, you can cheat. What movie opened in 1985? Back to the Future. Okay, what musical is opening today? Back to the Future. So Lead Center representatives, that one was free and completely off script. So, all right. So those 4,000 alumni that have graduated and gone through Leadership Lincoln, they joined Leadership Lincoln and received that invitation for various reasons. Some were looking to grow as leaders. Some were looking to become leaders. Some were already successful leaders and said, you know, there's this little one thing that I want to get better at to continue being a successful leader. And they took that path. Even myself, in fact, when I arrived in June, my wife and I, we came to Lincoln, Nebraska from Richmond, Virginia in June of 2019. And the first piece of mail, even the first piece of paper on my desk, was an envelope from Leadership Lincoln. And Mick's in this room. There's Mick. Mick's in the back. It was signed by Mick at the time. Mick was running Leadership Lincoln at the time. And I opened it up, and the fortunate thing for myself and my wife is that once one person receives the invite, their spouse gets that same invite. So we looked at it and we said, well, you know, we were coming from Richmond, Virginia to Lincoln, Nebraska. We have no friends. We have no network. It's just me and you, my wife and I, and we're like, yeah, we need to build a network, right? So we accepted that invitation and we joined Leadership Lincoln. And there were programs, there were leadership days, there were assessments to figure out if you're a left brain or right brain thinker. There are a ton of things that we were able to gain from Leadership Lincoln. But the earliest and single greatest decision that we made was to join for the benefit of building our network. And that network is still intact today. So right now, I want to recognize those that have taken or made that decision and are in this room, and they're a part of 3 different cohorts. And when I call you cohort, I want you to stand and be recognized because I want to congratulate you and thank you for taking that first step. Again, whether it's to deepen your understanding about being a leader, working on some single thing as a leader, or simply growing as a leader. Whatever your reason is or was for joining Leadership Lincoln, I want you to stand and be celebrated for that choice. So, the first group, if you're in the room, just stand for a moment. We're going to give you a round of applause, and we'll move on to the next. So, the first group, if you're a part or a member of the current Youth Leadership Class 28, please stand. Where are you? There you are. Let's give them a hand. Flagship 40, if you're in the room, please stand and be recognized. Now, while this is not the greatest executives cohort 32, I do want executives cohort 37, please stand and be recognized. All right, so as I close and turn back over to Jude, I just want to again say thank you and welcome to the 2024 State of the City, and also thank you for demonstrating what it means to be a quality leader, building strong leaders for a stronger Lincoln. Thank you.
Is everybody still with us? Everybody still good? Okay. So thank you, Quentin, and also let me offer my congratulations and best wishes to the class. Be the change that you wish to see. Be fearless. You have to remember, it takes all of us to improve Lincoln, not just the city departments, not just the mayor and elected officials. We all have a responsibility to one another because only one person can do so much, so we have to do this together. And yeah, just remember, it takes you so much, it takes so much time to go by yourself. Wait, it takes so much time to go by yourself, yes. So now, it is my honor to introduce the mayor. So Mayor Lyrian Gaylor Baird was elected the 52nd mayor of Lincoln, of Lincoln, Nebraska, on May 7th, 2019. Mayor Gaylor Baird previously served as an at-large member of the Lincoln City Council for 6 years, during which time she was recognized both locally and nationally for her work. In 2016, she received the Inspire Award for Excellence in Government Service and was one of 24 state and local elected officials from across the country awarded the Rodale Fellowship in Public Leadership by the Aspen Institute. But wait, there is a lot more. Prior to becoming an elected official, Mayor Gaylor Baird served on the Lincoln-Lancaster County Planning Commission. The mayor began her career as a management consultant, helping Fortune 500 companies become more efficient. She also worked as a city budget and policy analyst and as a director of a Boys and Girls Club founded to improve educational outcomes for children from low-income families. She currently serves on the Lincoln Community Foundation Board and the University of Nebraska President's Advisory Council and the Board of Trustees for Morning Hope. Mayor Gaylor Baird holds a BA from Yale College, magna cum laude, with distinction in the history major and a master's degree in comparative social research from the University of Oxford. Oh, man. Now, can I have you guys start a drum roll, please? Start a drum roll. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Lyrian Gaylor Baird, Mayor of the City of Lincoln. Let me grab myself.
Oh, thank you, Chute. Isn't he doing a great job emceeing? Let's give another round of applause for Chute. Good morning, everyone. It is so wonderful to be back with the members and supporters of Leadership Lincoln. Thank you so much for all you do to cultivate leadership in our community, and thank you for once again hosting my State of the City address. On nights when the stars on our schedules align, my husband Scott and I like to take a walk together after dinner. Well, we like the idea of taking a walk together after dinner. In reality, those walks look more like me flinging open the front door and setting off at a brisk pace, only to turn around moments later to discover my unhurried husband strolling happily a block behind. To encourage us to stay apace, we bought a special mitten that helps us venture out hand in hand. It's called a smitten. Now, on our walks, we often pass this house located just 6 blocks from ours, and this school. And as I worked on this year's State of the City address, I realized we were walking in the footsteps of a giant. And it isn't just me and my unhurried husband. Everyone in this room walks in the footsteps of a giant. In fact, everyone who serves our community. And that includes a lot of folks who aren't in the room this morning because they're out serving Lincoln right now. They also walk in the footsteps of a giant.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
Spoiler alert, the giant I'm talking about is not John F. Kennedy, whose inaugural address inspired countless Americans to answer the call to serve their neighbors and their country. We all know these words: ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. What's less well known about these words and that iconic speech is this: a boy who grew up right here in Lincoln helped create them. A boy who lived in that home close to mine. A boy who, like some of you, attended Sheridan Elementary and graduated from Lincoln High. Look, go Lynx. A boy who, as an adult, carried his Lincoln, Nebraska sensibilities all the way to the White House and grew into the legendary giant in whose footsteps we follow. That giant's name? Ted Sorensen, who became President Kennedy's longtime advisor and speechwriter. Ted Sorensen never took credit for his boss's words. When asked directly, he simply replied, "Ask not." But he was more than willing to credit his Lincoln roots. In his memoir, Ted wrote, "I always cherished the safe, peaceful, predictable environment that nurtured my childhood and laid the foundation for my life and career." The Lincoln of Ted Sorensen's youth looks a little different now. The pace is a bit faster, but the foundation that nurtured and inspired him remains. That foundation continues to nurture and inspire me and countless other Lincolnites to follow in his footsteps, because Ted's spirit of service, immortalized by those iconic lines that ask us to ask not, that's our spirit of service too. It's the spirit of community members like Chris Ricewig. When the maple trees lining her street began to decline, Chris put on her official Master Gardener badge and went door to door to present her neighbors with a menu of replacement trees supplied by our Parks and Rec team. And every single one of Chris's neighbors participated, and they planted 30 trees in the street on one day. Chris, thank you for your spirit of service, for being here this morning. It's the spirit of community members like Abdul Al-Qutaini. When Abdul fled war-torn Syria to resettle in Lincoln a few years ago, a caseworker from Catholic Social Services greeted Abdul and his family with these words: "Welcome home." Today, a caseworker himself, Abdul is the one who greets refugees with a warm welcome home. Abdul, thank you for your spirit of service and for tuning in virtually this morning. It's the spirit of community members like these children who show that you don't have to be a certain age to ask not. With the help of the Autism Family Network, they squeezed lots of lemons this summer, making lemonade and something else pretty sweet: $3,500 to support our city's first fully inclusive playground at Mahoney Park. Like these incredible Like these incredible individuals who ask not, my team at City Hall exemplifies a spirit of service. And those who suit up every day to work for the city are one of the reasons why Lincoln has remained that safe and peaceful environment of Ted Sorensen's youth. I am particularly grateful for the service of our Lincoln City Council. Council members, will you please stand again and be recognized for your leadership? I also appreciate our partners on the Lancaster County Board, our Lincoln State Senators, the members of our Airport Authority, Natural Resources District, and Lincoln Public Schools boards, and the 511 volunteers who serve on our 58 city boards and commissions. I'm especially grateful to my dedicated and talented cabinet of city department directors. Directors, will you please stand up so we can thank you for your service to our community? There's someone else whose unwavering spirit of service deserves special mention this morning. Her service saved lives during one of our city's most challenging periods. To our retiring Lincoln Lancaster County Health Department Director, Pat Lopez, who is joining us virtually this morning, thank you for the truly inspiring example you set of a kind, fearless, and strong leader. And thank you for the decades you have spent dedicated to protecting the health and safety of our community. And here's more to applaud. That safe and peaceful foundation of Ted Sorensen's youth today owns these bragging rights: the 14th best city for outdoor recreation, the 6th best state capital, one of the best places in America to retire, the #1 top city for renters, the top 5 for cleanest air in America, the only city in the Midwest to make the list, the 4th best mid-sized city for Gen Z, and for the 3rd year in a row, we are the 6th best run city in America. Well, these honors didn't just appear out of thin air or our wonderfully clean air. We earned them through the city team's hard work to create a more successful, secure, and shared future, through public-private partnerships that we forged together, and through the inspired service of community members who ask not. Yes, the state of our city is indeed strong. And while we are so proud of our strength, we continue to build on our successes every day as we cultivate Lincoln to become the quality of life capital of the country. This morning, let's take a look at what my administration, together with our community, has achieved over the past year to make Lincoln even more safe, healthy, strong, resilient, equitable, and inclusive, with a vibrant economy and quality of life. We are a safe and healthy city because public safety is our top priority. We continue to invest in partnerships, training, equipment, and facilities to make Lincoln the safest and healthiest capital city in America. In June, we opened the doors to our new Emergency Communications Center, and we equipped this new, larger center with the latest technology to support the excellent service of our dedicated dispatchers and to ensure that when you call 911, you get the help you need within minutes. Well, sometimes that help doesn't look like a fire truck or a police car. To provide more targeted emergency assistance for community members in immediate need of mental health support, the city developed a partnership with the state to rapidly redirect calls to the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, making Lincoln the first city in Nebraska to do so. Another recent public safety innovation is our alternate response program. And since we launched this program just over a year ago, our dispatchers and officers have successfully diverted over 1,200 calls involving unsheltered individuals to Centerpoint's street outreach team, who in turn has helped over 25 people become housed. And by redirecting these calls to trained social workers, we better meet the human services needs of people experiencing homelessness. We provide our officers with more time for other calls that require law enforcement. And we save taxpayer dollars by reducing the cost for emergency services. Our commitment to public safety is paying dividends. Today, I am pleased to share that LPD is nearly fully staffed at 94% of its authorized strength. This includes the 18 recruits in our current academy, one of the largest classes in the past decade. And thanks in large part to the work of our dedicated officers, Part 1 crime, which includes violent crime, is at a 25-year low. And we are solving these cases with the highest clearance rate since 2010. Together with LPD, our team at Lincoln Fire and Rescue forms the cornerstone of our public safety response. And as our LFR team grows to keep pace with the growth of our city, we continue to invest in the new tools that are already saving lives, including new extrication equipment and this new $1 million ladder truck. Here's a powerful demonstration of how our community members' spirit of service also supports our community's health and safety. In 2023, Lincolnites performed bystander CPR in 75% of non-traumatic cardiac arrest cases. That's nearly double the national average of 40%. Cheers to you. Our city is also ahead of the curve in protecting and promoting public health. And through my administration's Lead Safe Lincoln initiative, our health, urban development, and transportation and utilities teams collaborate to proactively prevent lead exposure and keep children and families safe and healthy. With significant support from the Biden-Harris administration's bipartisan infrastructure law, we began replacing privately owned lead water service lines with new, safe ones at no cost to homeowners like Woods Park neighborhood resident Lisa Thompson. And as we make progress toward our goal to replace every private lead service line in Lincoln by the year 2035, we uphold our commitment to supply safe, healthy drinking water for everyone in our community. And that's good. And in our desire to make Lincoln the safest and healthiest capital city in America, we even make house calls. Through our new Family Connects program, our health team provides families with newborns with free voluntary home visits from public health nurses. And since we launched Family Connects last September, our nurses have served over 700 families in Lincoln and Lancaster County, helping ensure that our community's children enjoy the healthiest start possible. As we work to fortify the health and safety of our community, we also focus on fortifying the literal foundations, the infrastructure that accelerates Lincoln's growth and resilience. And here's how we are building a strong and resilient city. Well-maintained streets enhance public safety, they support economic development, and they grow the great life all across our community. And my administration is investing in streets at record levels. Through our city's $47 million investment in street infrastructure this past year, we constructed nearly 18 lane miles of new or resurfaced arterial streets and made nearly 8 lane miles of improvements to residential streets. We do this street work with strong support from our community. In the spirit of Ask Not, Lincoln voters in 2019 approved a 6-year local sales tax that funds our highly successful Lincoln on the Move initiative, which is making our streets and our quality of life better. And since the Lincoln on the Move sales tax took effect, we have completed 50 additional street construction and improvement projects and invested nearly $78 million additional dollars into our streets, making it easier, safer, and smoother for people to drive to get to work, for children to get to school, and for customers to support our local businesses. And as we build even better, stronger infrastructure, we consider our changing climate. Through implementation of Lincoln's Climate Action Plan, we aim to increase our resilience to extreme weather events, bolster our sustainability, and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And together with our partners at Lincoln Electric System, we launched a pilot program in January to provide financial incentives to homeowners who install energy-efficient heat pumps. Heat pumps clean our air, they improve our health, and they save money by reducing utility costs. So far, over 325 homeowners have taken advantage of this incentive. And to build on this initial success, we kicked off a second round of incentives last week, and I encourage everyone who's eligible in our community to take advantage of this opportunity. Councilmember Benny Shobe led the establishment of the heat pump program, having successfully proposed funding for it in the past 2 city budgets. Councilmember Shobe, thank you for your leadership. As we strive to be strong and resilient, we take stock of our changing climate's local impacts. Now, in our neck of the woods, these impacts often look like water, too little of it or too much. And for over 40 years, stormwater bonds have helped protect Lincoln's property and people from floods, and they've promoted our community's growth. Ahead of the upcoming election on November 5th, when you will see a local stormwater bond on the ballot, I encourage everyone to learn more about how these proposed stormwater infrastructure investments, they're designed to help protect homes and businesses from flood damage, reduce pollution, and increase water quality. You can learn more on the city website at lincoln.ne.gov. Our investments in a strong and resilient Lincoln demonstrate our commitment to building a strong and resilient future. And we know that that future is brighter when everyone can meaningfully contribute to it, which is why we focus on city services and investments that make Lincoln an even more equitable and inclusive city. Essential to creating an even more equitable and inclusive city is preserving and growing the supply of high-quality, affordable housing. Here's a glimpse of key affordable housing projects that my administration has supported over the past year. The City of Lincoln invested $3.74 million to support the Foxtail Meadows development, which has created nearly 170 new units of affordable housing and ultimately will construct a total of 600 mixed-income homes. Our current work with developers to support the creation of new affordable housing will yield 300 more units through projects underway at Center Terrace, Central at South Haymarket, and Promenade at Pioneers. Now at City Hall, we understand that increasing the supply of housing at every price point helps make housing overall more affordable, which is why our city team has worked diligently to issue more residential building permits during the past 3 years than have been issued during any other 3-year period on record. To preserve and improve Lincoln's existing affordable housing stock, we continued the city's residential rental rehabilitation program with our partners at NeighborWorks Lincoln, LES, and Black Hills Energy. And over the past year, we have worked with landlords and property owners to maintain affordable rents and improve 106 units by funding upgrades like energy-efficient doors and windows, new insulation, and roofing and foundation repairs. Today, I am thrilled to announce that we are launching the second round of our residential rental rehab program that will improve 108 more units in the upcoming year. These efforts are part of my administration's larger goal to create 5,000 new or rehabilitated affordable housing units by 2030. And I am pleased to announce today that, having incentivized 2,641 affordable housing units so far, we are ahead of schedule and more than halfway toward meeting our ambitious goal. To make Lincoln even more equitable and inclusive, we prioritize eliminating health disparities. We partner with the cultural centers of Lincoln, and over the past year, we've empowered more than 5,600 community members from racial and ethnic minority groups to access vital behavioral health care and take proactive steps in managing and preventing chronic diseases. And through our public dental clinic, we provided over 12,000 dental appointments to low-income children, adults, pregnant women, and refugees. We also foster an equitable and inclusive city with free access to information and the internet through our public libraries. And the demand for our libraries' resources is clear. This past year, we issued over 17,000 new library cards. That's 13% more than the previous year. And many cards now feature the artwork of Ellie Little, who won our first ever library card design contest for teens. As we provide access for all to library resources that grow strong minds, we likewise deliver access for all to recreational opportunities that grow strong bodies. And to serve children and families of all physical abilities, our team at Parks and Recreation built a new ADA-accessible walking trail and playground at Easterday Rec Center. And I'm pleased to announce that we will break ground this month on our city's first fully inclusive playground at Mahoney Park. When our city works for everyone, everyone can work to make our city prosper. And that's why our team builds partnerships across the community to create an even more vibrant economy and quality of life. The most solid foundation of a vibrant economy is a good job, which is why my administration has made investments in workforce development that help our residents attain meaningful, financially secure careers and help local employers access the talent they need to compete. Our investments using American Rescue Plan funds have now served over 1,300 Lincoln residents, resulting in increased wages for many and empowering these workers to gain new skills and new jobs in high-demand fields like manufacturing, trucking, welding, IT, the health sciences, and early childhood education. And to grow our childcare workforce, this spring we allocated $200,000 to Lincoln Littles and Cedars and extended a successful community action program to credential more early childhood educators. And through our American Job Center, we partnered with local businesses to upskill nearly 200 local workers to help them fill positions or achieve promotions in their current workplaces, while helping local employers retain their valued employees. To grow a vibrant local economy, the city approved $21.9 million in tax increment financing to drive over $183 million in private investment. And here are just a few of the development projects that we are supporting with public financial incentives and infrastructure. Kinney Manufacturing District that will expand and anchor a future industrial area in Northeast Lincoln. The Shops at Lincoln that will add 25 new jobs and transform the former Sears building into multiple retail stores. Instinct Pet Foods expansion that has already added 17 new jobs. Speedway Properties development at 48th and Madison Avenue that will combine retail space with both market rate and affordable apartments. The 23rd Street Net Zero Ready project that will combine new affordable housing, rooftop solar, and small commercial spaces for budding entrepreneurs. And Epworth Church's adaptive reuse as new apartments and a childcare center. As we facilitate this kind of growth and development, it's worth noting that in the most recent fiscal year, the city issued over 32,000 building permits. To further grow a vibrant economy and quality of life, we are helping to build Lincoln's premier baseball and softball fields at the Sandhills Global Youth Complex. Local government contributed over half the total funding for this catalyst project, and I want to thank our private sector and philanthropic and higher education partners, with special gratitude to Lincoln City Council Chair Sandra Washington for her leadership role in this project. As our city grows, we are committed to ensuring that our park system grows too. Parks are fundamental to Lincoln's quality of life, and I am pleased to formally announce that our Parks and Rec team opened 2 new parks in North Lincoln this year, Prairie Village and Tranquility, that together serve over 1,600 households and advance our goal to ensure that everyone in Lincoln lives within a 10-minute walk of a public park. Another new park is on the way too. With the support of public and private sector partners, the city acquired land that will become Cornhusker Bank Park, a 154-acre gem that will soon sparkle at the northwest edge of Lincoln. It's beautiful. As we grow the great life for all, we remain committed to doing so in innovative and operationally excellent ways. And here's a great example. Where others see parking lots, we see opportunities for innovation. Last February, Lincoln became the first city in Nebraska to eliminate minimum parking requirements, freeing up valuable land for further development that drives economic growth. And with input from our planning team, Councilmember Tom Beckius led this important innovation. Thank you for your leadership, Councilmember Beckius. Now, together we have generated a lot of forward momentum in Lincoln, and though the world today looks a lot different from the one that Ted Sorensen and JFK inhabited, service to something greater than oneself remains essential to maintaining our momentum and achieving great things. For as JFK acknowledged in his 1962 "We choose to go to the moon" speech, achieving great things requires great commitment.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Here in Lincoln, we too choose to undertake challenges not because they are easy, but because they are hard. As Lincolnites, we believe in reaching for the stars. And earlier this year, the city of Lincoln launched our new brand in the shape of a star, a unifying symbol of the high aspirations and expectations that we at City Hall have of ourselves and that our community members have of us. Those aspirations led us to develop my administration's moonshot projects in the form of 13 priority pillars, which I unveiled at last year's State of the City. Here's a look at our progress on many of these pillars that are making Lincoln the safest and healthiest capital city in America, growing the great life, and creating an even more dynamic downtown. Our innovative co-responder program will enable LPD and mental health professionals from Centerpoint respond jointly to calls for service involving people experiencing mental health crises. We just signed the contract to set co-response in motion, and we look forward to having these mental health professionals on board in the next 6 months. We made huge strides towards functionally ending chronic homelessness when our urban development team selected the architect, the operator, and the contractor to create Lincoln's first city-owned permanent supportive housing. And today I am thrilled to share that we will break ground on this innovative project later this month. Streets continue to be a priority pillar, and over the next 2 fiscal years, we will invest over $87 million in street infrastructure that supports hundreds of millions of dollars in private investment all across our city. Our public street investment includes $49.9 million in year 1 and $37.5 million in year 2. Now that lower number in year 2, that reflects the expiration next September of the highly successful Lincoln on the Move initiative, funded by that voter-approved local sales tax for streets. In the months to come, we look forward to engaging our community about the benefits of Lincoln on the Move and how we can capitalize on them moving forward. As part of our Water 2.0 project to secure a second water source for our community, I'm pleased to announce that we have identified potential sites on the Missouri River for our new well field and water treatment facility. We've completed environmental testing on those sites, and in the next year we will work to select and secure the ultimate location. We recently hired the contractors who will begin construction next spring on a new 60-inch transmission main that will connect water eventually from the Missouri River to Lincoln. That's a big deal, actually. It is a big, thank you. That's a big deal. To enhance our public transportation infrastructure, we made progress on another priority pillar project, our Multimodal Transportation Center. As part of our efforts to develop this center, we engaged community members through surveys and open houses and even door-to-door outreach, and we completed this initial design. As we place priority on ensuring a high quality of life for our seniors, Lincoln became an official AARP age-friendly community. And to build on this momentum, our Aging Partners team hosted a series of community listening sessions. And they recently kicked off digital literacy workshops to help seniors more effectively and enjoyably utilize technology like iPads and cell phones. And as part of our workforce priority pillar, my administration initially invested $400,000 in American Rescue Plan funds to credential approximately 40 community members with commercial driver's licenses. Well, we are on track to meet that initial goal, as 43 community members have signed up for the credentialing program, and 17 have already earned their commercial driver's licenses. And this includes Christopher Ankew, who, after years of experiencing homelessness and incarceration, is now making $1,500 per week as a truck driver. And successes like Christopher's are why we allocated an additional $250,000 to this program to credential another 25 people. Our Downtown Corridors Pillar project will enhance the attractiveness, safety, and overall vibrancy of key sections of 9th Street, 10th Street, and O Street. And we got a big boost when Congressman Mike Flood secured $4 million in federal funding to support its development. And this morning, I am thrilled to share that we will begin construction on the downtown corridors next spring. Our Music District project will capitalize on Lincoln's live local music scene, and together with community stakeholders and our partners at the Downtown Lincoln Association, we're working on our next big hit, the Music Box, a destination performance venue at 14th and N Streets where artists, musicians, and the public will be able to come together to convene, create, and collaborate. I'm ecstatic to announce that construction of the Music Box is well underway, and we hope you'll join us when the first musician plays there early next year. To literally grow the great life, we increased the footprint of South Haymarket Park by over 2 acres. And with extra green space for this priority pillar project, we will add a hearth, a community pavilion, and a new central location for what will become Nebraska's premier in-ground skate park. We launched a capital campaign for the park last year, and I'm overjoyed to share that since then, we have raised over $7 million. Remember, no donation is too large or too small if you too would like to help with this park. All these examples of how we are cultivating the quality of life capital of the country are precisely what Ted Sorensen intended to inspire his generation to do, to reach for the moon and for the stars, to spark our collective imagination about what we can achieve when we embrace a higher purpose, when we ask not. As we stand today, united by an 8-pointed symbol of our high expectations, and on that ever safe and peaceful foundation that launched Ted Sorensen, let's think about our own moonshot projects, the acts that will leave our footprints on our beloved community. To all of you sitting in this room, to the 5 people watching online, to everyone in Lincoln, I ask, what stars will you reach for on behalf of our community? Because in order to maintain the solid foundation that Ted Sorensen so appreciated, we have childhoods to nurture, homes to build, streets to pave, parks to develop, jobs to create, elections to vote in, and wells to dig. To ensure that our great city remains safe, healthy, strong, resilient, equitable, inclusive, with a vibrant economy and quality of life, we must reach out to each other, to our neighbors, to those we know and those we don't yet know. We must be involved in our civic life. Because when we walk hand in hand, when we ask not what our community can do for us, but what we can do for our community, we don't just reach for the stars. We walk among them. Thank you.
This is my last time you're going to hear my voice today. Thank you to all our sponsors. Special thanks to Allo. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. And have a great day. And make some noise for yourselves. Have a great day.